If you missed the beginning of my hair challenge to grow bald spots and thinning spots, to grow your hair out, or just to have your hair some fullness, then you are still okay to jump onto this challenge. It started June 1st, but it is June 3rd, so it's not too late to start. You could start it whenever really, but just time it in where you started at the beginning of that day and then record it. I have something you can download for free in the description. It does have a 3-month or like a 3-page guide so you can keep track of your challenge. And through this challenge, you can do different things such as change up that hair mask and change up the shampooing. You could put no poo shampoo in your hair, and you can do silicone. And I use a great clarifying shampoo. Today, I woke up, I took my braids out, and I'm going to be using my boar brush, which I do need to clean out. I do usually take the hair out of here, so I do have some in there, but I have to wash my brushes and my combs. And sometimes I don't even brush my hair. I wash my hair and then I leave it for, till the next wash day. And then I'll continue not to brush it or comb it. And then all of a sudden, like on the third cycle of washing, I will brush my hair. I will use a detangler when it has been that long. Usually my hair doesn't tangle too bad because I do sleep with braids in my hair every night, or I switch it up to a loose bun with a satin scrunchie and use my silk bonnet. Last night I was so tired I did have braid, but I did not use my satin bonnet. So that is something I try to do every night just so my hair doesn't get, a lot of friction on it and it's moving my head. I move around a lot in my sleep, but that is something I try not to do. So if you're sabotaging your hair because you want it to look sleek and you want to have that shine, that glass look, that is sabotaging your hair, especially if you are trying to grow your hair from thinning on the front of your crown and you are trying to get fullness in your hair. That does weaken your hair strands and uh, it causes breakage, and it's very prone to breakage when you're putting heat in your hair. So I'm not telling you to never ever do it again, but on this challenge, I'm asking you to not use any of these heat tools, please. I'm just trying to help you because I know I've been there when you don't have hair in your scalp, and it is really really a hard thing to go through. But if you want to see some success, then that's part of this challenge. And I make this a daily habit in my life. I do this continuously. This is something that I've been doing a year and a half, but I am measuring it now every 3 months because a hair grows half an inch a month. So I started December 20th. I did another measuring March 20, it was like 25th, and then I will do another hair measuring June 20th. So I'm trying to keep it around that 20th mark of every 3 months. You could start yours. Like I said, I started mine December of 2024, and you can continuously do this. I will have some things out every Wednesday, and I may throw in something through the week just to kind of help and guide you. Just any questions you may have for your hair. And it does seem like your hair will not grow, but I'm telling you, if you do these things in my ebook and follow this guide, then you will start seeing your hair growth in a certain amount of time. I would say maybe even a month, because if you are just continuously doing things, you could probably see some growth. Like I said, the 3 month will probably be a lot better to tell, but it's possible with that month. So I am going to be putting my hair oil in my hair. I do use my hair oil a little bit less now. I was using it twice a day in the morning and night just because I fell asleep a couple times and I was doing this religiously. Try to do the hair oiling at least once a day if you don't remember to do it twice. So when I wake up to take my braids out, I put a little in my hair. I do not always use my hair oil in my scalp. Now, I do have one that I made. I have 4 or 5 different types of hair oil. This one, It does have almond oil, rosemary, and this has rose oil, peppermint, flaxseed, magnolia. That's just for a hint of a soft smell. You don't have to do that with oils. Mine isn't overpowering. And then I do have MSM in this MSM sulfur, and that is very beneficial for your hair, scalp. You could also put the MSM in hot drink. It gives you directions how you are supposed to go on it and then off every couple of months. But I stopped doing that. It gives you headaches if it's because it's just it's I read a lot about it. I mean, there's a whole thing about it, and then the creators actually did some webinars about it. So, but these are in all my hair oil. So this one that I opened for myself, I put the silicone drops in, and I don't have them in my other hair oils. I was selling them on Etsy, but that just kind of is oversaturated. So I did sell a lot of these at my work. But anyway, I do use this. I didn't use any, I don't believe, I did yesterday, but not last night. But I did use my shea butter in the ends of my hair. That is definitely helping with locking in those split ends. I am going to put this in my hair because I will be doing a hair mask today, my Indian hair powder, and I'll mix it up and show, even though I have a recipe in the description, I will go ahead and just show what I mix it with and how I mix it. You can change it up a little bit as well. You don't have to use the coconut milk. I use that in a can, and you could use even yogurt. It calls for yogurt, but I do love the coconut milk. I don't use coconut oil in my hair. That's just my preference. I've read different things about it. Of course, I do use silicones in my hair, and that's also another big thing that people are afraid of. But I change it up a little bit. Sometimes I use my rice bar shampoo, and then I'll use that for 1 week, and then the next week I'll use my it's a rosemary ginger. Oh no, I'm sorry, a rosemary turmeric bar shampoo that I found. I do use that. So I do switch up the no poo shampoo, which is natural, and then I'll go back to the silicone. I'll switch it off and on. Something that I wanted to mention is a shampoo that I use. It is the Mane and Tail. It's a horse shampoo, but you could also use it. People could also use it, and it even states it on the shampoo and conditioner. I use that probably every couple of weeks, or I use it once a month in between my washes, and it's just very beneficial to make your hair stronger. And I do really like it. I will continue to buy that. I know I used it as a kid growing up, and then I stopped using it for many, many years. And that is something that I also use in my hair to help get my hair back to its strength and fullness, which I have not probably had since I've been really, really young because I bleached my hair so many years. And I am going on almost a year without, I think it is a year now because it's June. The last time I bleached my hair, I'd have to look at my TikTok videos because I did put that out on there. It might have been June or July. So it's about a year that I have not bleached my hair. Now, toning it, I toned it last November 2024. It is now June 3rd. I think I said that already about where we're at with the months, but I just want to kind of show you what I do. And I am going to actually put some in my scalp just so I gets into the hair oils, and it's very beneficial for scalp, for hair growth, hair dander, if you have problems with itchy scalp. Now, I don't wash my hair very often. Every once in a while, I'll do 2 days, 3 days, but normally I'll go anywhere from 5 to 6 days. And I do have the lavender in this, or did I say lavender? No, peppermint in this one. And the other ones I'll have lavender, one or the other, because that is very beneficial for your scalp as well. It helps break up sebum if you are doing things right. If you're using your scalp massager and you're just going through your scalp, and or you're using your bamboo brush or bamboo comb, I highly suggest you invest in those. You can find on Amazon for not very much, and then you just comb through your scalp like that. You don't have to brush through all your hair because usually I'll start from the bottom up. But when you're doing that with the bamboo comb, you're combing through your hair and you're breaking up the sebum. That peppermint and lavender really helps. It doesn't leave a funky smell if you're not washing your hair within a certain amount of time. If you'd have oilier hair, then just use a little bit less oil. I mean, through the day, it kind of just seeps into your hair and scalp anyway. If you are uncomfortable, just throw your hair in a loose bun with a satin bonnet, and then you will have that just working in your hair. And a lot of people don't like to use hair oil. They say that it doesn't work. I mean, tons of people do, but these hair oils do help your hair, especially if you're in a dry climate. I like me, it definitely does help. So I am going to be using my coconut oil. Like I said, this is the one I got. And then I'm just going to put a little bit in here. Sometimes I use too much. Bring garge powder. I don't know, but and the benefits are in my ebook in the description, so you can look at that. And then I have ashwagandha root powder. These are very, very, very powerful Indian powders. And then also Retha powder. And you can get all of these on Amazon, like I mentioned in one of my other videos. They're not too much. They do last because you're not using too much. I have a third cup. You could use a half a cup. I don't know the other one too. Just easier than that big one. So you just put a couple heaping scoops in there. Then you're just gonna mix it up. I have a little one, and you might have to add a little bit coconut milk. I don't know, but I'm just gonna do it like a paste. A lot of the ones I've done before they were watery, but this time I added enough of the powders. And it's gonna be it's just something that I've been doing, and my hair has never had problems. I've had my hair grow really fast, regardless, and it is something that I'll show you when I'm washing this up. Now you're gonna want to get this through all your hair, everywhere, and then you're gonna leave it in for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. You could even leave it on 45 minutes. Something I didn't mention in my ebook, if you are using it as a mask and not a shampoo, because you can use these for shampoos, you're going to want to wash your hair first. I'm using today my Pantene Curl Perfection. I think that's what yeah. And I like this because this helps with bringing out curls. I'm not going to use my natural Poo Bar today, but you're going to want to wash your hair first, and then you're going to use your mask, and then one of your favorite leave-in conditioners or your hair mask. So it's really hard to show in my kitchen just because how everything is. I have a very small space in my kitchen, but I'm going to show you. I have a big enough towel, so hopefully it's not dripping everywhere. I'm going to put a good amount in my shampoo. Make sure that is a shampoo, not conditioner. And I'm going to get it in my scalp. Put the towel in my lap. But I'm going to finish this off in the sink after I show you how I do it. I just get it. I do it for a bit. My scalp. Okay, I go everywhere in my scalp. And then I get a good amount. It's a lot longer than this, but I don't want it to get everywhere. And then on the ends, I get a good amount as well. You can see on both hands. And then I get it through my ends. I just kind of do this, do the ends. And then I just get it and I just do this very lightly and really carefully. I do the ends because I use a lot of hair oil in my hair. I use a lot of things in my hair as through the whole hair. And then this is very, very, very sudsy. Like if I was in the kitchen, it would be like that much. But I'm going really light right now because of the mess. So, and I just get it scalp. And I do a second cleanse too. So I am going to go add some more water and then get this going. But yes, the ends I do, and I do this a little bit through it, just really gentle. Make sure it's getting all that dirt and grime or whatever you got in your Okay, so now I'm doing the opposite. just showed you how to do it, but it was on pause, and was recording the whole time I was letting it sit in my hair. So I just put a heaping amount in my hair, so I'm not going to do it again. And what I did was I went through all my hair with the mask. Then through the top, I got a big heaping scoop, and I went through the whole top just like that. And I got in through my hair and make sure it's all covered, very good, saturated in my hair. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I think it's I haven't had breakfast, and breakfast is my biggest meal. I love breakfast, so I'm already feeling a little lightheaded. But anyway, it's going to be everywhere in your hair. So I'm going to let this set in 3 to 5 minutes, and it doesn't take that long. It says 3 to 5 minutes. You can leave it in longer if you want to, but I'm not going to. Okay, so my hair isn't quite dry, but I did leave some of my favorite leave-in conditioners in. And one of them is the Garnier Fructis Hair Filler Hyaluronic. And usually I use this in my hair when it's wet. And then I used this, the Aussie Miracle Curl Spray. Now this says to put in when your hair is dry, but I did put it in my hair wet. And then I kind of did a scrunch. You could also do it when your hair dries. And then I did use L'Oreal Heat Protectant Moisture 2-in-1 spray. I still use this even if I don't use any heat on my hair. I just use a little spritz around it just for extra protection. And so my hair is pretty much all dry. It's very full, feels really nice. And I did let it air dry today. And my computer is lagging, my internet, so I am going to end this video. It's been long enough. And I hope everyone has a great day. Just stay consistent with this. Go down. Don't forget to go down and upload my free guide and just follow this. Stay consistent. And I will see you next Wednesday. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment or email me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with someone that may be having issues with their hair that I mentioned, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for stopping by.